Have you ever wondered why some people seem to thrive well into their 80s and beyond, while others seem to slow down the moment they retire? What if the difference isn't just genetics or luck, but something much more subtle, something already alive within you? In today's video, we're revealing 8 quiet but powerful signs that you might live to 100. Not just survive, but truly thrive. These aren't things you'd necessarily see in a medical report. They're rooted in how you live, how you think, and how you move through the world. And here is why you should stay with us till the very end. By recognizing these signs in your own life, you'll discover not only how well you're already doing, but how to nurture these qualities to extend your vitality in a deeply meaningful way. If you're someone who values peace, connection, and living with intention, this video was made for you. Let's begin with something almost invisible, but incredibly powerful. You feel at ease when you're alone. This is one of the most underestimated signs of long life. Not loneliness, solitude, there's a difference. If you've reached a place where quiet moments bring you clarity and calm, you've cultivated emotional resilience that many chase their whole lives. It shows up in simple things: a quiet morning with tea, a slow walk with your thoughts, the ability to enjoy your own company without needing constant stimulation. That's not just personality, that's wisdom. People who thrive into their 90s often have this inner steadiness. They're grounded. They don't get pulled into drama. And when they speak, people listen, because they carry presence, not just noise. This quiet strength acts like a shield. It protects your energy. It soothes your nervous system. And it builds a foundation that makes you more resilient to emotional stress. So if you've noticed that solitude no longer stirs discomfort in you, but actually restores you, you've already unlocked one of the most vital keys to longevity. Now, before we go on, if this message is already speaking to you, take a moment, like this video, share it, and subscribe. You're not just helping the channel, you're helping us keep these conversations going for people who need them most. Next up, a surprising signal that your body's natural rhythm is stronger than ever. Sign 2. You wake up without an alarm clock. It might sound small, but it's a powerful signal that your body is working with nature, not against it. As we age, one of the most profound signs of internal harmony is a steady sleep-wake rhythm. If you read between 65 and 85 and you consistently wake up before your alarm, or haven't used one in years, your body is telling you something important. Saying, "I know when it's time to rise." That's not luck, that's alignment. Your internal clock, called your circadian rhythm, is like a quiet conductor organizing your sleep, hormones, digestion, even your mood. And when that rhythm is stable, your immune system strengthens. Your energy becomes more consistent. Your brain clears out toxins overnight. Your heart rate stays calmer. And your metabolism? It works with you, not against you. Waking up naturally means you've likely built habits that support your health. Less screen time before bed, consistent meal times, and a life that welcomes calm instead of chaos. And here's what is even more remarkable. Many people in their 80s and 90s who still live independently share this trait. They rise early, not because they must, but because their bodies are ready. There's no rush, no panic, just a gentle return to the day. It's a rhythm shaped by decades of small choices. Walking after dinner, keeping a consistent bedtime, letting the sun, not a screen, set the tone for rest. So if your mornings feel smooth, if your eyes open gently with the light, and if you're able to greet the day without jolts or jitters, that's not just routine, it's resilience. Remember, longevity isn't only about years. It's about how harmoniously your body works with time. And that brings us to our next sign, something that may surprise you. You forget the little things, but you remember what matters most. Sign 3. You forget small things, but remember what truly matters. You might misplace your glasses, forget why you walked into the room, pause a moment before recalling someone's name. And that's okay, because if you still remember the lessons life has taught you, the values that ground you, the people you love, and the reasons they matter, your memory isn't failing, it's refining. As we age, the brain doesn't forget everything. It becomes selective, it lets go of the noise and holds tight to meaning. And that's not a flaw, That's wisdom. If you remember how your spouse smiled at your wedding more vividly than where you left your car keys, you're not losing memory, you're focusing it. Science confirms this. Emotional memory, connected to values, relationships, and life experiences, stays remarkably strong with age. It protects against depression, anxiety, and even cognitive decline. This is why many older adults can tell powerful stories, offer deep insight, and hold space for others in ways they couldn't when they were younger. They see the forest, not just the trees. So if you forget a few errands but still know how to comfort a friend, guide a grandchild, or reflect on decades with grace, that's not forgetfulness. That's legacy. It means your mind is prioritizing the heart of your life story over the clutter. That brings us to sign number 4, one you might not even notice in yourself. You complain less than people half your age. Sign 4, you complain less than people half your age. This one might surprise you, but if you've found yourself becoming more accepting, less reactive to everyday annoyances, that's not just personality, it's protective. Chronic stress is a silent thief. It erodes your immune system, strains your heart, and even accelerates aging at the cellular level. But when you let go of the little things, when you choose peace over tension, your body thanks you in powerful, invisible ways. Maybe you've noticed it. While others rant about politics, the weather, or their latest inconvenience, you're quietly sipping tea thinking, it's still a good day. That attitude isn't passive, it's wise. It comes from having lived through real hardship, grief, illness, disappointment, and learning how to keep your heart open anyway. People who age well often radiate this calm energy. They don't deny sadness or anger, but they don't let it take the wheel. They laugh more, dwell less, and recover faster. I once met an 83-year-old man who said, "I've lost a lot, but I haven't lost my love of mornings." That spirit, that lightness, that's longevity in action. If people say you're easy to be around, if your presence feels peaceful, it's because you've cultivated an emotional environment that heals, not just others, but yourself. And that quiet power, less noise, more grace, is a sign of deep resilience. Now let's talk about something most people misunderstand. Slower steps don't mean you're slowing down. They might mean you're becoming more mindful. Sign 5. Your steps are slower but more mindful. In a world obsessed with speed, it's easy to assume that slowing down means falling behind. But for those who age with wisdom, slower movement often means deeper awareness. When you walk with intention, noticing how your body shifts, how your feet touch the ground, how you navigate your space, that's not weakness. That's body intelligence. It's your brain and body working together, communicating in real time to prevent injury, preserve energy, and maintain balance. And guess what? This mindful movement is one of the most underrated signs of longevity. People who live past 90 often have remarkably few major accidents. They don't rush, they don't stumble, they pay attention. Whether it's using a handrail not because they re-frail, but because they re-wise, or taking an extra moment to rise from a chair, they move with purpose, not panic. And it doesn't stop with walking. You'll find it in the way they stretch in the morning, the way they reach for a cup, the way they center themselves before moving through a busy space. There's grace in their motion and clarity in their intent. This kind of connection between the body and the mind is powerful. It reflects a brain that's still sharp, still engaged, still protecting the vessel it inhabits. So if your steps are slower, but steady, if your posture is upright and your movements feel deliberate, don't doubt yourself. You're not just walking, you're practicing a life-extending art. Let's move to sign number 6, one of the most beautiful traits of all. You recover and keep going. Sign 6, you recover and keep going. Here's the truth about people who live long, meaningful lives. They don't escape hardship. They rise through it. They bounce back from illness, loss, setbacks, not because they're superhuman, but because they choose to stay engaged with life. They keep trying, they keep showing up, they find reasons to move forward, even if the steps are small. That resilience isn't always loud. Sometimes it's as quiet as getting out of bed after a tough night, making soup when the appetite is low, calling a friend just to say, "I'm still here." It's the choice to be curious, to keep learning, to smile when no one's watching. And if you're still here, reflecting, growing, living with purpose, you are part of that rare, powerful group. You may not realize it, but each quiet decision you make, to be calm instead of reactive, to walk instead of sit, to listen instead of argue, is shaping your future in remarkable ways. Longevity doesn't come from chasing youth. It comes from honoring your rhythm, trusting your wisdom, and loving your life exactly as it is. So ask yourself, which of these signs do you see in your life today? Which ones do you want to strengthen? Because now you know, your path isn't just about years. It's about how you live them. If you found even one sign that made you feel seen or hopeful, take a moment. Like this video, share it with someone you care about. And make sure you're subscribed, because we have more insights, more wisdom, and more gentle reminders coming your way. This journey we're on together, it's just getting started.